Can you imagine the country or the world if people were honest, everybody? You know, everybody can get so disenchanted with what's happening. I talk about my country because it's what I know about. I'd love to talk about the world, but every country, every culture, every people, I believe we all want the same thing, but we differ in values, ideas. So I can only speak about my country. But could you imagine a life where everybody was just simply honest? Could you imagine signing a contract written by an attorney that you could completely understand, written in 8th grade grammar? Could you imagine if somebody told you something, you could always trust it? It's not that way. It's not. There's all formality now and legalese and attorneys. There's ways for people who have money to invest in something. There's technicalities that allows people who have enough money to have representation that know what I call tricks. They say the laws to allow them to get by, where the average person, we don't have that. We don't have money for attorneys. We don't understand. Well, what we understand is yes or no. Do you remember the old days when you made an agreement and if something fell through, you knew if somebody was honorable that if it fell through, it was just something they weren't capable of doing? And what else could you do but just go, well, doggone it, I'm disappointed, but I recognize that. Now we have people that just lie through their teeth and promise things they know they're not capable of and hope it comes out, because the worst case scenario is you could just fire them or be mad at them. You know, I think back to the founding of the country, which I love this country, and you talk about the founding fathers pledging their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. And to me, sacred honor was the biggest thing. Homes can be replaced, and lives, well, if you're a Christian, life here is short regardless of how long it is. Our lives are important to us while we're alive here, but aren't things to honorable people more important than lives? There's all kinds of people and there's all kinds of parents, but if your child was dying, would you not give your life so your child would survive? I know I would. If you could give your child your eyes or they were going to lose theirs, wouldn't you? I would. You know, life changes all of us and perspectives rolls all around, and as I get older, I recognize aches and pains and sorrows and heartbreak and things that roll around inside of my heart and my soul all the time. And I think that happens as you get older so that you're more destined to welcome death when it comes, and I'm thankful for that. I don't want to go. I love good things about the earth, and I love my child and my wife and my few friends. But I'm not afraid to go. I'm not looking forward to it, but mostly my only concern is the heartbreak for my son that I think loves me. If I could save my son or people I care about anything, it would be from heartbreak. Heartbreak is so rough. You know, physical pain, it comes and goes, but heartbreak can just linger forever. It can make you feel less of yourself. So my biggest regret about leaving the earth when God takes me is just that there may be some people that love me that will be sad, and I don't want that. But we live in a time, maybe it's been happening for a long time. Gee, I feel old at 54, but I guess 54 is not that old when you have a country that's 200 and something years old. But honor, does it matter? It does. It does matter to some people. I think it matters to a lot of people that grow up believing it. I think being a Christian is helpful, not necessary. Honor your word, what you say, what you do. And if you can't do what you said and you try as hard as you can, then you can just apologize and people will go, doggone it, I believe him. He's an honorable man. I mean, people fail, people falter, people stumble. But we live in a time now where government or the banking industry, they have overwhelming opportunity to just destroy people. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Banking institutions that are so well protected now, they're never afraid to give a loan out no matter what, because they can destroy your life forever. Forever. If you were a criminal and you committed a crime and you weren't caught in a certain amount of time, there's something called a statute of limitations, which means you can't be arrested for that crime. But banking industries can hold you responsible for a debt for the rest of your life. Even though you may have lost 10 or 20 times that. We have governments, look what's happening in the government, regardless of whichever side of the government you believe in. Do you believe that the way that they treat each other and what we see in the news and on the press, where everybody's a liar? Everybody accuses each other of being a liar and doing inappropriate things. And where's the honor? How do we have a government that holds people accountable and preaches accountability to people when they don't really hold themselves accountable? How is it that we have a government that are mostly millionaires that are running a country that's $20 trillion in debt? How is that possible? Corruption and crime and immorality is how it's possible. If you could do something like a fantasy realm, and you could put all blue-collar people in the government, do you think they looked at the debt and they looked at what was going on? Do you think they wouldn't go, listen, we can't promise any new programs. As a matter of fact, we're going to have to take a bunch away because we have to start paying this debt down. How is it that human beings, people, are told to be held accountable? We have a government that's completely unaccountable. I love to be positive, and I am so thankful for my family. And I'm so thankful to be part of this country. God has blessed me with a good life, so I am positive in reference to that. But I don't know how we're ever going to get a hold of the country again, because there is no honor in the way things are being ran. There is no honor in the government protecting financial institutions to the realm that financial institutions now take no risk and just throw money around knowing that they always win. How is it that people take risks, financial institutions don't? How is it that government agencies can violate laws, but if people do, they go to jail, they go to prison? But we have mayors and congressmen and senators that violate laws and practices that just go unscathed. Or giant conspiracies where people are convinced that people in power did something wrong, and we talk about it. There seems like there's a lot of evidence and nobody ever goes to jail. Man, I love this country, but if normal people don't get back in charge again, it's over. Don't you see the two-class system? As soon as the middle class is broken, it's rich and poor, and that's it. I say it all the time, people have to get involved. You have to go to city hall meetings and county meetings, and you have to elect a friend that you think is fairly smart, mostly honest, decent. I believe loving God helps. Morality can't be judged by people. It's judged by God in the book. We have to put blue-collar people back in charge, right? Of, by, and for the people. Millionaires that raise millionaire children to be in the government that make millions. That's not what the government was about. It's not what the country was founded on. So don't give up. Big thing is don't give up. It's okay to be down sometimes, but don't give up. Because when the middle class gives up, then it's over. The middle class is the backbone of the country. Don't give up. Get involved. Simple things like people say, what do we do? What do we do? Get involved. Go to meetings, write letters, send emails, keep proof of what you said. Don't give up. Life is short. Life can be hard. But through a great battle, only is victory greater. God loves you. Keep safe.